What an awesome day. God, don't make me cry.
A reunion Saints fans are cheering for.
Yes, that's who we sat by the game, right? What do we do when they won? Like this. Show 'em. Woo!
Danielle Trahan, a special ed teacher from Lafayette, was desperate to find two young brothers she says she connected with during last Sunday's Saints game. The boys went alone without their parents. So impressed with how polite and well-mannered they were, she was desperate to find them again.
So sure enough, when that field goal went through, I spun him around, he picked him up on his shoulder, and I grabbed my phone to take the picture, and I thought it was pretty amazing. And so when we went up the steps, like I said, he gave us a hug, thanked us, shook my husband's hand, thanked him. And as they walked away, I thought, man, I wish I would have gotten their names. I wish I'd have got their numbers. You know, part of me kind of missed them, and we just parted ways. And I kept looking at that picture and thought to myself, if that was my first game or my kid's first game, I would love to have this picture of them.
So she took to social media to track them down, explaining what it meant to sit next to such great kids at the game.
Sure enough, it went a little crazy.
And so I was like, oh my God, look at my baby. He's so happy on the thing.
Thousands of shares later, Trahan connected once again to 8-year-old Jaron Fisher and 14-year-old Terrion Schaefer. Jaron had a wish for his birthday to go to a Saints game, so he asked his grandmother, Yolanda, for some tickets.
I said, you know, them tickets are kind of high. And I said, well, let me see what I can do.
Yolanda Fisher works at a convenience store in Baton Rouge, and she says the next day someone came into the store and was kind enough to give her 2 tickets for Jaron and his dad.
So I had to make a decision, leave Terrion at home and me and Jaron go because his grandmother gave us the tickets, but that was a no-brainer. Terrion was not staying at home. I was not leaving him at home.
Their dad decided he'd sit this one out and let the 2 boys go together for their first Saints game.
When I did send them in, and I decided to send them to the game by themselves, I was worried a little bit, but I really wasn't worried a lot because, like I say, I know my kids, and I know they can handle themselves, and I know they're respectable.
Once inside, the 2 boys ended up sitting right next to Trahan and her husband.
Well, they came to sit by me, and I am a special ed para at our local elementary school, and it reminds me of one of my students. And so I instantly got to talking to him, and I just really bonded with him. I don't know. And the whole game, we high-fived.
She's very special to us now because of everything and how nice she was to us from the start when we first met her.
Throughout the game, it was an exciting game, right?
It was a very exciting game. Yes, it was highs and lows and bad ref calls and more bad ref calls, but we still high-fived and hugged through them.
Together, they enjoyed the game of a lifetime, especially for little Jaron.
I was with Terrion, and the game was tied, and I was so nervous. It was 31-31, and that's when they kicked the field goal, and he held me up on his shoulder, and
He started crying.
And that was it.
You know, you learn something new every day, and you make new friendships, and hopefully this is a lifelong friendship that I'll, continue to be able to watch them grow and share some Saints games, maybe some Pelican games. Who knows what we'll get to share together. Maybe some Thanksgiving turkey.